Wait, do you ever get disappointed when you're showing someone something for the first time and you really want them to get it? And
No,
they
not
don't?
at all. I think
Yes.
Oh.
Matt knew exactly where I was
Absolutely.
going with that question.
I'm clearly an Eeyore.
I'm probably Rue.
I'm a Christopher Robin with a Pooh Rising.
And then I get in a canoe and I'm like, Clairs don't like canoes.
No, they don't.
I'm afraid of this lake.
That's exactly what it was.
Ow.
It was a beautiful moment in our friendship. I was
literally in the middle of getting hers up and down the
Pathetic.
stairs. Ow. I was like, I'm trying to get my hair done. I'm like, God.
I don't think that's an accurate representation of my owl.
Well, you were in such pain you couldn't see clearly. So,
Trauma.
Thank you for listening to the Last Will podcast. I'm Matt Young. I'm a theater educator and a parent. And ever since I lost my father to cancer, I have been mildly obsessed with death. This is my last will and testament. Indira Gandhi once said, "The power to question is the basis of all human progress." That's right. Part 2 of our questions episode is right around the corner. This one I think is a pretty special one. I think we uncover a lot of things. There's a lot of good old-fashioned humor, honesty, and vulnerability. Enjoy. Today's episode is brought to you by Hope. Do you have some? Would you like to share? Your daily dose of inspiration and possibility. That's Hope. Are you looking for a brighter tomorrow? Hope is here to uplift your spirits and guide you towards a future filled with promise. With each moment, Hope reminds you that the best is yet to come. Let me repeat that. With each moment, Hope reminds you that the best is yet to come. Embrace the power of hope. Let it light your path and lead you to extraordinary possibilities. Try Hope today and rediscover the joy of believing in a better future.
he's married to Jamila Jamil.
Who was?
James Blake.
Oh, okay.
That was a good way to
Get us going.
yeah, well also I like when Grady does impressions of people.
They're not good, but just like I always say, it's not the voice, but you hear the vibe. Give me somebody else.
Just no, you pick one and do it and we'll guess.
Okay, sure. Ow.
Marsha Brady. Oh, no, you didn't start. I'm sorry. Nailed it, though. I mean, I thought Jan and stuff like that, but no.
All I can think of is Dazed and Confused.
Okay.
Unpack the car. We're
This
not
is going
anywhere.
great, Claire.
Unpack the car. We're not going anywhere. Frank. Frank. It's pretty much spot on.
I didn't get that one.
You've never seen Dazed and Confused?
Mm-mm. What is that?
Oh my God.
Mm.
You really haven't seen Dazed and Confused?
I don't believe it. I don't believe it.
What is that?
It's a Richard Linklater film
1976, last day of school, and it's just what happens in that day for
in
juniors,
Texas, somewhere in
seniors.
Texas.
Yep.
A young Ben Affleck. I really didn't realize it was Ben Affleck till I knew Ben Affleck later. He's so despicable in that movie. He's so hateable.
It's one of his best performances when he breaks the paddle.
Parker Posey's in it. I like her.
She's
Everybody's
great.
in it. Matthew
She's
McConaughey.
despicable. It's really the first McConaughey movie that he popped, and everybody was like, "I got to get this guy in movies." Like you didn't think he was an actor. He was so good. You thought he was just some guy from Texas that they put in this movie.
Linklater's so good at casting like that. They all seem, I don't know. And there were a lot of these.
This isn't even. I have to buy it if I want to watch it on Amazon. This
Oh,
is what
that's
pisses
funny.
me off about Amazon. I can't ever watch anything without having to buy it.
Yeah.
Why are you just on
Amazon, we
Amazon?
love you.
Dazed and
We're not-
Confused is streaming on.
It's on Google Play Movies, which I have to pay for,
I
Apple
think
TV,
it's
which
on
I don't
Peacock.
have, Vudu, which I don't have, and then Amazon Prime, which I do have, but then I have to still pay for it.
Well, you know what's a great one is, by the way, just is Tubi, because it's all free, and they have an awesome selection. Of
I'd go with
shit.
free. Do they have ads? They
Yeah, but
probably.
they're not. But who cares?
I do. I hate ads.
Then get what you pay for.
Ooh.
Okay, so
Ooh.
bend over a little
Ooh.
more. You want to know what I do? I cook and I clean.
That was
and I come home. When I
uncomfortable.
come home, what I need
Getting
is silence.
uncomfortable
That's-
When you come home, you give me volume, and what I want is a little bit of just
jeez.
quiet.
He is Now
All
he's
right.
back to the crab fingers.
You went a little bold about there.
Shakira.
That's choking.
Who did that on stage? Oh, no one? Throwing up? Has anyone ever thrown up on stage?
Has
Like a
anyone
sing-
ever thrown
like,
up on stage?
Like
I
a,
have.
Like
Yes,
a
I'm sure.
I threw up
pop
backstage.
singer?
I threw
No,
up backstage during
on
Winnie the
stage.
Pooh. I was maybe like, yeah, I did.
Really that traumatizing of a show?
No, I was running soundboard. I was backstage running sound.
You couldn't stand being off
and
stage,
I
and it just
got
made you nauseous.
violently nauseous, and I went and ran into the hallway during the performance and threw up. And Katie Dameron almost made me stay for the rest of the show, and I was like, I can't stay.
The show must go on, Grady.
Pretty much, yeah. So
my
the
God.
pink sawdust came out.
Yeah.
It was what the oddest throw up I ever had. It was kind of like dust and air, and then like liquid.
Dust, air, and liquid. Can I just say before we
Were
move?
you a machine? Sounds like a machine kept in the garage for a long time.
Yeah, you just accumulated dust over the years.
You
And then
turn
you
it
turned 'em
on.
on,
You
yeah.
turn it on. It's
Who
like
told you that?
Well, some things we just
Matt,
know.
he's lying.
I'm not.
oh my God, were you really kept in the garage for a long time?
I was a machine. Yes,
Still a machine.
I was.
He's got zero emotions.
Thank you so much. I
You're
appreciate it.
welcome.
Canon copiers feel things too. So just so you know. No.
I know.
Do
Which is,
you?
Yeah.
Do you?
Yeah. Which is
Were
why.
you an overhead projector?
No, I just know that.
Do you know what an overhead projector is?
But when
Yes.
you knock it, you say sorry. You walk by, you accidentally walk into it, you say, "Oh my God, I'm so sorry." And people make fun of us for apologizing to inanimate objects. I'm always apologizing.
always,
So sorry,
always
excuse
telling
me.
Siri that I love her.
Oh, we
No,
fight.
Alexa.
We
I'm always
fight.
telling Alexa because I'm afraid of
We
her.
fight. Siri's an idiot.
Stop it. It's recording. Can I just say, before we totally move on, even though we have moved on from Dazed and Confused, that the performance that needs more recognition in that movie than anyone is Rory Cochrane. You
definitive.
really
It's
you
definitive.
really think that he's that guy.
It's definitive.
It's unbelievable.
Yes, it is.
So kudos to you, buddy. Welcome to the Last Will Podcast. We're getting started earlier than we did last
I'm so
time.
wasted.
Yeah, but still, yeah.
We had to do an introduction. That's just what we do. We do soft openings.
I forgot my book today.
Oh no.
Yeah, with all the questions in it.
Well, we have a thing with the questions.
I know. Hopefully, I'll remember what my answers were.
I think so because it's you and you're inside you and you know you,
Oh, I guess that's true.
right? What kind of logic is that? I don't know.
No, it's logic.
Welcome to our second episode of questions. So there is no definition. So let's get into it. Where do we want to start?
I want to get the list here.
We'll start. Well, I don't know. I mean, we don't have to even start.
What was Celine Dion singing a minute ago?
You were singing "Oh Holy Night."
I'm just a girl. No, I can't.
No,
do it.
Oklahoma. It was Oklahoma.
I'm just a girl who
You can't say no, but you were doing an impression of Britney Spears.
I thought it was
I
Cher.
was?
I thought
Yeah.
it was Cher.
I thought it was
He was
Celine
trying to do
Dion.
Britney Spears, but it came out as Cher.
Oh, fuck it.
All right, so let's go easy. Let's start off easy with our questions. What are you still searching for?
I forgot what I wrote.
Something easy, Grady. What are you still searching for?
Honestly,
I think I know.
a
It's
scarf ring, a Bulgari scarf ring. That I
A
can't,
scarf ring?
that you
Yes.
can't find it.
Oh, like
no,
an
I have
in-
no idea where it is, and it bothers me every fucking day.
Does it surprise you that it's a material object that he's
Fuck
chosen
you.
to search
What?
for?
No,
I think he doesn't want to
Reveal.
reveal what he's metaphysically looking for.
I love put your shovels away, okay? Put your ice picks away.
Shovels
I'm not a
so
mountain-
1990s.
What is scarf rings?
Shovels are so 1990s.
Shovels are so 1990.
What is a scarf ring?
Scarf rings are.
Is it an
60s.
infinity scarf? Or is it
No.
smaller than that? Oh my
No.
God, don't look at me like I don't know what I'm talking
No, I
about.
don't know what you're talking about. But infinity scarves are a fashion. That's a famine of fashion. If that's a
A famine of fashion?
yeah.
Explain to
We
the
are in-
women.
I
mean,
love infinity
Claire,
scarves.
Claire and I know what you're talking about, but the audience may not know.
They're actually
so.
called a snood.
No.
Yes. Look it
No.
up.
You
Okay.
your favorite the thing you've been searching for is not a Bulgari snood.
Yes, it is. A Bulgari
Something
scarf
that
ring.
you put in your hair. I thought snood
No,
is
no,
something
no.
you put in your
It
hair.
will hold the scarf together. If you tie.
It's a scarf snood.
Can I just say, when I first had the idea of putting a podcast together, this is exactly what I thought we would be
Well,
discussing.
good. I'm glad you're not disappointed.
Nope,
You got a book over
not
there. Why don't
at
you help me
all. Claire,
I'm over here.
what are
That's
you?
Grady. Oh.
What are you still searching for?
I don't remember what I wrote on in my journal.
All right, next question.
You're searching for what you wrote on your journal.
Searching for it.
Is it
I think I
universally? Is it happiness? Are we searching for happiness?
No.
Questions.
I think I wrote companionship.
Okay. What does that mean? Is that love or is that company?
Well, it's a good
is-
question because like I feel like it's something I'm always searching for, but then like in the times that I have had it, like I've spent more time of my life single than I have been partnered up. So I have worked harder on myself as a single person, like a one person. Meaning,
Yes, we get single person, right? Grady, you got that? Okay.
Meaning,
I live alone.
All right.
meaning,
fun of me.
meaning,
I'm not making fun of you.
I have to operate. I have to think about the friends that I'm buying gifts for at Christmas. I have to remember who's everyone's birthday parties. I feel like when you're buddied up with somebody or you're partnered up with somebody,
You're sharing the burden.
yes,
And
and
burden
also
the wrong word, but
people
like-
start to understand because that other person is now very important to you. They understand that maybe you don't have to meet this date, or like, oh, I'm sorry, I can't go out with you tonight because he and I we already have plans or something. Like
Right.
becoming, getting hooked up with somebody means that you are then adapting to a life of. I'm about to have a coughing fit.
Oh, jeez. Do we think, Grady, that there's something in that mentally made her have a coughing fit? We're getting to the root of something.
I know.
And so she's choking on
It's like
You're searching for your breath. Are you?
I'm
Oh God.
no.
are you
It's
dying?
like the
Ugh. Wait, I'm having one.
all of a sudden when you
Oh,
have
no.
a partner, you then have to operate as a couple, and to me that is a whole new ball game. It's a whole new deck of cards. It's a whole new wardrobe. It's a whole new calendar.
World.
It's a whole new world.
It's a whole new calendar.
Yeah,
Wow.
it really is. So,
I mean, that's more literal than all the other
Totally.
but if
metaphorical
you
Yeah.
stuff.
think
but
about
like,
it,
yeah.
I
if you
like
think
it.
about
It
it,
is. It's
like you've got their special birthdays you
called
have
schedules.
to attend and think about and care
Schedules.
about. Mm-hmm.
Schedules.
I like the idea of special birthdays. Not just birthdays, but special
Special
birthdays.
Yeah,
birthdays.
and
So,
And so the thing about that is that I'm searching for it, but I know that actually it's a lot easier being alone. It's actually easy being alone.
well,
But I'm still searching for that.
We don't have a choice sometimes.
I'm searching for that companionship.
I don't
but
know if it's easier.
yeah, sometimes I think it feels easier. For me, it's certainly a lot nicer when somebody else can take out the trash. Or if I could just call that person and say, hey, I forgot this at home. Did you remember seeing it or something? Or,
That's why I had kids. So now I have someone to take out the trash. Nailed it. I am killing at life.
you should
for
have them
sure.
work on Boxageddon over there.
That's not.
Maybe. Well, Boxageddon's much better than
But
it used to
reward them with money, like just quarters.
be. I reward them with food.
Reward them with quarters. They're teenagers.
Yeah, those things add up.
I've got a bunion on my foot. If you rub it, I'll give you a quarter.
no,
and I'll give
we're
Audrey
talking-
one too.
We're talking about breaking down boxes in the corner, not rubbing a fucking
Quarters?
bunion.
Get them the Spotify account.
They got a Spotify account.
Okay,
Just-
so then
it's
get
new.
them-
Did they
But
do
then
any?
what-
Did they earn
They
it?
did
Did
break-
they
Yeah,
do anything for
They
it?
have been consistently taking out the garbage in the recycling.
Okay, you got to step it up.
Every time.
You got to
every
have them
time.
step it up.
I'm not giving them quarters though. I'm
You
not giving them
give
quarters.
them a nickel and tell them come over here and dust this. I have a dime if you come here.
Okay, four
Listen,
quarters
all
every
right.
time
so,
they
so
break
wait,
a box.
I
down.
just want to go
Sorry.
like you're searching for companionship, but you're not really sure
if it's
that
for
that's
me.
going to be a positive or a negative for you.
So are you searching, or is it just something that you
No,
want?
I mean I think you could search for things that maybe you won't
Yeah,
like,
I
or
was
it won't
just-
be
I was
positive. You
actually
know,
about to say that. Sometimes you can search for things that don't. Sometimes people just like to search.
don't make
Right.
your life better.
Right.
Yeah,
like I feel like
that's
it's
true.
something that I should have because I've been wanting it my whole
You
life.
also see it all around you.
I see it all around
'Cause
me,
love is actually
all around.
right.
But then sometimes I like
It's not Christmas. You can't say Love Actually anymore.
Oh my God, no.
What are you
We
talking
talk
about? We were
lo-
just
I
actually
think about Love
bantering.
Actually every day
I
of the
see what
year.
you did. Look what happened. We're neat.
I don't know if it's clever or not. I
I don't
I
want
think
to
it's
talk
pretty
about this
interesting.
anymore.
No, but I think that I can get on to what I think I'm still searching for, which
But it's hard to say one thing though, real quick, Matt, because it's
no,
like,
it of course,
it's
of
like,
course.
what am I searching for metaphysically? What am I searching for like spiritually? What am I searching for actually physically?
Right. Well, if you think about the nature of this podcast and trying to help my kids through, I don't know, giving them ideas or guidance or something like that, I think we're kind of thinking of the big life questions when we're asking these particular series of episodes, we're asking these big questions and asking. I kind of said in the description of the first one is like, we're not doing resolutions. We're not trying to change this year. We're trying to go inside and reflect on things so that maybe we can learn something about ourselves moving forward.
Well, when I say companionship, I'm specifically saying that instead of love and romance, because I feel like in the first part of my life at this point, it was love and romance, but now I'm starting to understand that's not really what I'm looking for. I'm just looking for a partner, and that means more than love and romance.
Well, it's very much. It's a mature.
Yeah.
Version
So
of that.
I'm actually happy that I have been able to stave it off this long, so that
Yeah, that's good.
I
It's
can
okay.
come. And I think that's an important message: is that don't rush it. Like, make sure you find the right person, not just a person.
But often there are times that people are rushing you, parents, whatever.
They're definitely in outside
We
pressures.
didn't grow up that way at all.
No, but it
I
happens.
didn't grow up that
A
way.
lot of families from people of our generation were pushed into things, or it was, and I think we've discussed this earlier. There were boxes to be checked off as life goals as you turn 25 and you turn 30. You should have this and you should have that, and you should be starting a family here, and all the pressure of
Get
that.
your license at 15.
And there's also an urgency within ourselves to want to feel loved, to want to be partnered up, because it makes us feel better about ourselves, and oftentimes we'll then spend time with the wrong person because we need to have a person. And I think what you're saying is like exactly that. You've waited so that you're not with the wrong person to be able to handle this mature
There's so many
companionship.
people I thought were the right person, and then it turns out they were not the right
Maybe
person.
they were at the time, though.
Yeah, and so I'm like, oh, gotta start over. And then you're like, but I thought that was the person.
And there should be no like judgment. You shouldn't have self-judgment because it was love for you at that time. Like I think about my 17-year-old self and the people that I was in love with, and I think, well, that wasn't really love, but like for a 17-year-old it was.
You were in
So
love with a
why
lot of
not?
people at 17?
I don't know if you know this about me, Claire, but
I do.
I
But I don't think
can
you can.
fall in love.
But I think
with
that love
such
is.
ease.
I think love is very special, and I feel like it's not. For me, it's not something that I do multiple times at the same time.
No, I wasn't loving a lot of different people at the same time, but I was loving. Like there were
Ladies loving ladies.
I was loving.
yeah, no, there were crushes that I had, and I couldn't move past them, and so it was like one person that
Yeah,
was.
yeah. No, I get
And
that.
we talked about the difference between like obsession and love, and I dance on that line all the time. So
Grady has something
Concerning now I forgot. This is
Did
how
I go on
my
too
mind my
to
mind
say. Concerning hobbits.
my mind splits things up like a timeline. So if you move one infinity stone, like the Sorcerer Supreme will tell you, it splits up. So when you ask me that question,
And then
it
you throw
splits
in the
up.
philosopher's
What I am
stone.
searching for is a way. It's not possible. Acceptance of being 14 and pretty much by then was on my own, and now not having, because of health reasons, ways to talk to my mother, especially, that I've been kind of on my own more than I haven't been, and I'm searching desperately, I think, to find art, specifically theater, to express that, and make that not okay, but find a way that it doesn't come and hit me up like a block of bricks on the side of my head to remind me how that I had myself longer than I had my parents at my side.
Yeah.
And it's not their fault. It just that's the cards that life dealt. Sorry.
No,
I make it
no.
heavy sometimes. Sorry. This.
Oh yeah. Don't make it heavy on this podcast.
But I
Yeah.
when I was cleaning myself with water the other day, showering, or some people say. I don't know why I said that, but
Which pair of glasses were you wearing?
I didn't step into that. I'm not doing that again.
Okay.
Anyway, I'll tell another story. But yeah, I'm really trying to find. I know there's healing through that, and if I can find that, that's great. If not, that's cool too.
You're fine. Look,
I'm studying a lot of theater right now, and I love to just do that on my own anyway.
Yeah.
I'll perform.
But you have a purpose now.
But yeah, it seems
there's
very, very focused. And I tell me if I'm speaking out of turn, but I would think for someone who is neurodivergent, who has masked a lot their whole life, expressing yourself through art has felt like the most cleansing way to actually work through emotions that maybe you couldn't work through in your house, in real life and stuff like that. And so now that your life and your parents' health and what you're dealing with now is so present, it doesn't surprise me that you're hyper focused on finding art as a way to express the big feelings that are happening inside you.
Right.
The one thing that we talked about with Christopher, and again, correct me if I'm wrong, was that we didn't think that Christopher didn't feel all of these things. We just felt like Christopher didn't have a way to
doesn't have a language
express himself.
Yes.
Grady has theater and art as a way to express himself. And sometimes they don't line up with the perfect feeling, but you're expressing yourself.
Right.
And now you're deeply in search of raw material because you feel so raw inside.
Yeah.
I think I fucking nailed it.
No, you did. And I'm not I'm it's right. It's very right. I'm also looking at I just feel like I've missed out on so much time. I just missed out on so much. I missed on so much. I'm finally realizing what it means that life is short, and that it just snaps, and you don't have what you and what you didn't have and you were okay with. Now knowing you'll never have it, it makes you want to get to not the finish line, but run even faster. Because I know with my mind doing theater the way I want to do it, I don't know how much longer I have.
You say that all the time.
But the thing is as you unmask, there is a trade-off. You lose certain things. I don't have the patience for certain things anymore that I did that could get me to the other side of some things. So I just can't do it because I don't want to do that to myself.
Can you explain what unmasking is?
Sure. Not monitoring myself constantly. Even with doing theater, I would monitor myself constantly because I'd be doing musical theater mostly, which we all know is fun. But I mean, let's keep it real. We're not reinventing the wheel. But you borderline on taking yourself a little too seriously.
We're not breaking ground in terms of.
Well, I mean, but if you look at it like that, you never will. And I think there's sometimes we do shows that are maybe quote unquote fluff, but we find something deeper in it.
Mm-hmm.
I think Matt talks about this too, and I find it very interesting too. I love to find when comedies talk about a comedy. If comedy's handed to you on the page, that's great. But if you can find comedy in just naturalism and just talking, you find funny real moments. That is so much more rewarding to me on stage, that discovery, than just
hitting
a
setup and
punchline.
punchline.
And the setup and punchline is cool to have, but where you can find naturalists, I just find I revel in naturalism. I love it so much.
When an audience finds that stuff funny,
right.
it feels very, very
and now
satisfying.
that I feel like I'm also old enough to play a lot of these roles,
definitely old enough.
That and then I'm having a coughing fit as well, but it's unmasking would in a sense of like I'm internally stimming a lot all the time because I don't want it to be shown on the outside. When I really want to be doing is like moving my hands or like moving around, but I don't. So I keep myself in a neutral position. That hurts me.
Yeah, theater's given you the discipline to be able to do that throughout the years.
But that's
and now you're
trying. Yeah,
I think they can both exist. And
they
here's,
can. I'm
here's
just having
the
to figure it out right
yes,
now.
and like fucking, isn't that glorious in some ways?
It is.
I know you.
There's
it
an
doesn't always
exquisite
feel
pain.
like
There's
that.
an exquisite pain with it.
Yeah,
yes.
but also like to be able to balance both of these things in your life is where you're at in life.
I'm proud of me for that.
And you should be.
Thank you.
You absolutely should be. And I don't want the thing that frustrates me when you talk like this. And there's one part that's the thing that frustrates me is you're like, I'm not sure how long I'll be able to do this. It's just undiscovered country. You don't know yet. So to box yourself into, I'm not sure how long I'll be able to do this.
I guess
I just think that's not fair to you.
I'll rephrase it. I'm scared.
So how dare you?
I'm
Good.
I'm scared of.
You're scared.
Mm,
Yeah.
I don't know when I'll have. Jesus.
You don't know when you'll have Jesus? No.
You always have.
No,
you
come
always
on, I'm
have
sorry, I'm
Jesus.
sorry,
I know,
I'm
I
sorry.
don't.
You're having a real moment.
No, I'm not. I just
You are.
I hope I'm able to do this for as long as I can.
You are.
And
Because
I
the
mean,
fact that you
and
already
it's-
have that fear that you can't means that you're going to always be doing this.
I'm trying to protect it more. I don't know what it is.
Yeah.
My natural gifts.
But if you think about if you think about your last couple of months artistically, right?
Yeah.
You pushed yourself as I think as far as you've ever gone with a Curious Incident,
Absolutely.
right?
Yeah.
And that was finished and you jumped into a new thing and you weren't sure, and then we talked about it being a palate cleanser and all of this stuff. But then you also fucking invested in some of the craziest, most raw material that you could fucking find, and didn't torture yourself, but like really put yourself into an emotional, a deep emotional well, and you're still here. You
Like,
know,
you're not just
deteriorating.
You're not deteriorating.
No, I'm
but
not.
You're also
I'm not.
challenging yourself
It's
to
deep.
go into some really deep
I'm
stuff when
trying
you
to.
are in an incredibly you're in an incredibly vulnerable state.
And I think you're doing it because you're in an incredibly vulnerable state, and it's a beautiful thing to kind of watch you. You know, I tease you about being obsessed about it, but like, but it's a beautiful thing to watch you fearlessly go through it through your art. You know, and it's only when you pull out and you're Grady do you get emotional about it and get scared, and that's all beautiful. Like all of that fear is beautiful because it's not stopping you. You're scared, but you're not then
Well, I appreciate
preventing
that.
yourself from moving forward.
I'm
right?
not. No, I'm not at all. I guess I'm also a little scared too of just which is why I want to create from the ground up and build something. And that's private. We'll get into that off the air. But I just when you're I don't know. I like I said, I perform monologues at home. I read plays out loud all the time. I was texting Matt yesterday, I think, and said if I could sit and read plays out loud for the rest of my life alone, I would be probably really, really, really happy. I find I don't. The audience part of it's never been what I need from
only when it's comedy. You know, then
only when it's
because
comedy.
we want that.
I do like.
We
to
want
hear
that
the
response.
laugh.
Yeah,
I
for
love
sure.
That to go.
But
I
like-
love that you loved that.
But like, it's so clear to me how you're doing self-care.
It is self-care.
You know,
in a
and I don't
weird
know
way.
that I don't know that you see that. No, because you use your art to express, and what you're going through personally right now, with what a lot of people go through in terms of the aging of parents and stuff like that, and how the relationships change and all of that. There is a beautiful self-care that you're going by diving into this really difficult material. And maybe I haven't even, when I tease you about being obsessed about it, I don't think I've understood that in your journey. You know, I think I have not honored the fact that like it is and don't take this the wrong way, because it's a word that's kind of negative, but I don't think it's negative. There's a desperation to express.
I don't mind that at all.
You know?
Yeah, I am, because I think if there's not a desperation, I want to do it now.
Right now, I think you have to do it.
And
that's to me, that's a beautiful self-care.
I think you're right. No, I've not looked at it that way. That's really cool. Thank you for that. Yeah, I'm studying plays like mad right now. I'm making notes. I'm annotating pages. I love it though. I love it, and it is satisfying, even if there's no one out there, just to say these words out loud that I connect with. Whatever text.
I do think that, like, we talk often about the catharsis of tragedy and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And the arguments I would have with parents were like, oh, kids have been through so much. We really need to give them a comedy. And I'm like, the fun in doing a comedy is not where you think it is.
Right.
You know, sometimes
Yes.
we need to do something that has greater stakes in it. And I think you sitting at home reading these plays and feeling the emotions that these people are having is an expression that you probably wouldn't, because of so many years of masking, allow yourself to feel. And through art, you can do that.
Right. Well, musical theater made that easy. And so as a kid that could sing, dance, could, I guess, act potentially, people will use you and you'll just work. You'll just constantly work. And then
music is a pure, is like
it's easy. Not easy.
It's right
easy,
to
but
it's right to the vein of
emotion.
emotion.
It plugs right in. Yeah, you don't
absolutely.
really have to go through a lot of hoops to get there.
No.
You hear that first chord and go, oh,
Gets
I'm
in your
already
bones.
there. I'm already set up. Right.
Do you know? I mean, do you know how powerful music can be, Claire? Oh.
No. I actually think that, listening to you talk about this and Matt interpreting what you're saying and this connection that's
He's
being
very
made
good
right
at
now.
interpreting.
I know.
And I'm
like,
not great at talking about
I'm thinking about what to say, but
myself.
Matt's saying it all. But I'm just noticing that, like, I've been worried about the time, right? Like how much time I have to do what I want to do, and running out of time and getting to a certain threshold in my life where I, have to do a certain amount of things before then and then after. So there's so much pressure. We feel like we should have accomplished so much at this point, but we forget that we don't get to a stopping point. Like, the stopping point is death, but we're not there yet. Like, we're very far away from that. And we have a lot of, Matt, don't do that. You made a face.
She's having a coughing fit again. Okay, you put demon, get out.
No, I just
get out of
I want
Claire.
Claire to
Jesus,
finish her
in
thought.
Jesus' name, get out.
We have
of Claire.
a lot of time. We have a lot of time. And so what I'm actually getting at is, I saw something on Instagram last night that was this woman talking about the people who have had major successes in their lives and what time they had them. And it wasn't when they were 25.
I always find these
It's when they were
fascinating.
past 40 and in their 50s. And their magnum opus was like when they were 65.
Morgan Freeman.
Exactly. So we are just getting there. And pain is, for me, it's my greatest motivator. And we go through these experiences, like, people have, like, think about all the pain that goes into great art. And it's not because you're born with pain. Like, we gather it throughout our lives. We have experiences, we have trauma, we have failed relationships, we have death in our lives. And that's what drives us to create art and create. It changes things in us. It changes things in our brain electricity. It causes us to think differently, and because we're trying to heal and move on, we're constantly trying to explore and better ourselves because of it. So something happens, right? You have a death, a friend dies. All of a sudden your perspective on life changes, and it makes you want to do something. And then you think about that person as you keep moving forward, and you're like, maybe I could do something better. Maybe the thing that I just did needs a little bit of editing. Maybe I need to go and change it a little bit. Like, what you're doing right now is the result of some great work that you've done that you don't recognize as great work. You just see that it's something that you need to move forward on. Like, you need to keep exploring this. You have pain. You just have pain in you. Like, we all have pain within us. And
But I'm sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off.
it's fine. My throat was starting to
Okay,
hurt.
good. The accumulation of your skills over the years has led you to a place that you are now, where you can fully express through your art a lot of the pain that you're feeling based upon the situation that you're going through. And maybe you weren't able to do that earlier. Maybe you weren't able to do that before Boys Next Door. Maybe you weren't able to do that before Curious. And now you're at a place where, although I hear you speaking to us often about how deep the frustration and pain is, and that you don't think you can get through it. And I see all the evidence in the world that says you can and that you will. You can't get through it without feeling the pain, you know? That's part of it. We want to not feel the pain, but a way to express it as opposed to pushing it down, which is what most people do. They push down their feelings and it gives them ulcers and they're not expressing it. You are, as painful as it will be, as painful as it is now, be able to flush it out and it'll turn into something else. And I don't know that you would have been able to do that before you are now.
No, I wouldn't.
Know? And I think that
I wouldn't have allowed myself.
Maybe you can't even look at it as a positive. Maybe it's only us on the outside who can see it as the beautiful thing that it is, because it hurts so much because you're in the middle of it right now. But it's really what outside of religious things, it's what a real blessing is, you know?
Yes, I do know.
And again, I'm not telling you that it's not going to hurt.
No, I'm used to pain.
As someone who's 23,
high
24 years into
for it.
grieving their father still, I'm not going to say that it's not going to be painful, but I couldn't flush through the emotion, you know? I couldn't express it in a way. And you're just getting an understanding of yourself now of how your art really works through you. I think.
Actually, I don't think I'm shit anymore on stage. I can actually maybe do something.
I mean, how can you? I have fucking good taste, and I always say that there's things that you do on stage that no one else can do. Mm-hmm. No one else can do it.
Well,
you go subtle, and people lean in, and other people go soft and quiet, and everybody loses their interest. It's a gift that you can bring people in. You could do nothing, and people are interested. And that's what real good performers are. They're not look at me, look at me, look at me. I'm waving my arms. I'm indicating my performing, you know?
I don't like indication.
Yeah.
I'm so mad at you.
So, anyways, enough about
I appreciate
Brady.
that.
Jesus
Thank you.
Christ.
Oh,
Yeah, wow.
God, that was
I'm so excited. We got
that was a
got
lot.
real Grady.
Yes,
You know?
we
we
did.
got real Grady. He likes to go, I want a what is it?
It's like
a
I'm looking
scarf
for my
tie?
snood,
Yeah.
my Bulgari snood.
Oh, God.
He's real, people. He's not a robot.
I'm not a robot.
Not a robot. It's some real shit.
Listen, the
It's some real
other
shit.
part of that is, too, the waiting game of actually, do I want to perform, but then you have to wait to see what's available in the area you live in, because let's not make it it's not some fairy tale that
Yep.
there's this theater company that's just going to pop up tomorrow and they're going to all of a sudden be doing some serious fucking shit.
Yeah, not without someone writing good grants.
Oh.
Grady's working on it, is what he's saying. He's mouthing. No, but you don't need that as much as I think. I don't mean to speak for you, Claire, but I think you and I need it. We have to do a legitimate production. We're not the ones. You probably sing by yourself, but we're not the ones who are working on plays at home by ourselves, getting what we need out of it emotionally for the most part. Mm-hmm. You know, you're fuck the system. I'm doing my own thing. I'm working through it.
I don't have a choice right now, and I'm fine with that.
Yes, absolutely.
I'm fine with that, not having that choice, and I'm fine with. And I'm also excited because I love to discover new things, and I'm realizing all the really great, serious, deep shows I've missed over the years that because I was doing, and Leo, or whatever. I can't
What
say
show is
no,
it?
or
What show
playing
is that?
Seymour 3 times in Little Shop. That's great. But
Well, what the beauty of writing your own play is that if you take your own, if you take an experience,
Yeah, he's not writing, but
then you are using what you know, but not taking what's already from what's already out there. You're
am
you're
writing
making something
as
new.
well.
Yeah.
I'm always writing.
Yeah.
But you take your own experience, and nobody else has that, so you're creating something unique and different.
Well, I'm finding there's something I've been wanting to write for a while, and through these other works I've been studying, like it's like I'm getting paid for it. I'm not. I'm finding that I think I can write this piece that hasn't been done before, that I want, that I'm hungry to do. So even if it doesn't pan out, which many times with a mind like mine, it won't. At least I'm making the effort to start something and try it. And I'd rather start 90 things and at least start them than just sit there.
I agree.
Even if I don't finish them, you know.
Well, I mean, it's
well,
Stephen.
you want
King
your own box of ideas?
Yeah.
Ooh, you want me to? I'll empty the box of ideas.
No,
and
no,
can-
don't
can
you
start off
dare!
there.
Don't unleash the box of ideas.
No, but I mean, Stephen King says like you write.
You don't stop.
You make an appointment with yourself.
Right.
That's your work.
He
you do
is
it,
such
you do
a great.
you do it every day, and most of it is shit. And I've heard other writers say like you write to get the first draft done. You put all of the ideas out there, and you don't worry if it's any good or not. You know, that's process.
But even look at a European rehearsal process for theater. They rehearse for like a year. They'll have the text for a year and discuss it before they even get into a room.
we are fast food culture.
I don't like. I've never liked the way Americans rehearse theater. It's not long enough.
Well, they're even worse with rehearsing
So
films.
I think we could all agree that we're searching
shit,
for
yeah.
Brigadoon.
Ooh.
Bring a book.
Okay, so I did Brigadoon.
You did?
Yeah, well, I
Were you the-
assistant directed it for Wilton High School, and I just hated every moment
He
of it.
played Lorna. Lorna Doone.
Like like my friend Sharon said, it's got magic to it, and it made me feel like, it made me connected to like the world of Harry Potter and stuff like that. And I was like, I don't know, I'm not seeing it. And then I thought about the year that they did this show. They did. One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest as their fall show, and then they did Brigadoon, and I was like,
Great.
You people
great lineup.
are
What
offering,
a great lineup.
You people
What
are
a
offering
great
women
lineup
maybe
for high
5.5
school.
roles all
for
year
high
long.
school?
Oh, God.
Yeah.
What a great lineup.
I was like, come on, people. And then we did it, and then, there was a kid who was acting out, but because he was featured as a dancer, I was like, where are we going to be educators? And they're like, well, he's got to dance in it. He just like skipped out on Tech Saturday, which is what they do in high
I
school.
always want to make fun of
What?
Brigadoon.
What do you mean
Oh,
they
you
do?
skipped out on
Yeah.
Tech Saturday.
No,
Yeah,
that's
he-
not a
You're
thing.
not in the
No.
show
and
anymore.
he got caught. Well, that's what I
Nope.
said, and they're like, "Well, he does the sword dance, so we have to make you." Let me tell you, ladies, you were wrong, and I was right. Sorry, Sharon. I know you probably got pressure.
Yeah,
from other
sorry,
people.
Sharon.
No,
Suck
don't
it.
easy on Sharon.
What?
We
I
love
don't-
Sharon.
Is she listening?
She could be.
Oh, hey,
she
Sharon.
could be one of them.
Welcome, Sharon. Call in now.
Sharon is really
The lines are open.
Nancy's first prodigy. Yeah, I spent so much.
Well,
she's
I'm
the
just-
best. She's the best.
I didn't know.
But I think we made the wrong decision there. Anyways,
Next question.
what?
What?
Oh,
What?
I never said what I was searching for.
You didn't?
No.
What'd you say? I mean, what'd you search? What are you searching for?
Well,
The baguette's over there. If you
I
need it.
think no, I don't. As you were talking, Claire, it was like an hour ago. I was thinking, oh, I'm searching for companionship too. I'm searching for love. I'm searching for someone to love me and blah blah blah. And then I was like, you know what? I don't think that's what it is. I think I'm searching for validation. I
From
think
who? From you?
from
yourself?
the world, for who I am, for the human I am, for the parent I am, for the artist I am. I rail against illegitimacy. I hate frauds, and I think that's all stemming from the idea of me thinking of myself that way.
You think of yourself as a fraud?
Yes, and so I hate it in others, and that's the thing that seems to upset me more than anything else. And I think it's because I don't know how to self-validate the choices that I've made in life, and so I think in the most unhealthy way I'm searching for validation.
So if you were to get a lie detector and if someone were to ask you questions and you were to answer all the questions without lying, would you still believe you were lying, even though the lie detector says you were telling the truth?
Maybe, because I would go, oh, you're delusional. Like, you actually believe these lies. For sure. Granted, the judge inside me has a loud voice, and I've been trying to quiet that son of a bitch for a while and not validate him. But I think if I'm being totally and completely honest, the thing that I'm searching for is for people to think that I'm a legitimate whatever it is.
Well,
you know?
it's actually, well, we're not actually supposed to be. I don't think. Well, are we going into our? I can't think of the word. Interpreting our answers here, because I'm about to. So.
Oh, sure.
Okay, do it clear.
I think I interpreted great. Well, no, I just went on my own tangent.
Well, you did interpret.
It's not an interpretation, but it's an attempt to repair. The world. It doesn't matter what the world thinks. And first of all, the world is not a big dude. Like, it's not like, the world spinning on a head on a stick figure. Like, who cares? Like, we're so tiny in this universe.
Yep.
And what
big time.
What really matters, and what's amazing is that we have the potential to imagine the universe, and then imagine us being bigger than that, and then at the same time understanding that we are so small, and our consciousness and our belief system and the wiring that we have to be able to imagine all these fears and experience all these emotions is remarkable, I think, for the human experience. But your number one job is self-validation. It's not, you can't care or worry about what others think of you, but you do an excellent job at expressing and interpreting the world through your art, and taking a project and taking a play and then making a play and making a work of art, and that's your work, and people are expressing themselves and you're the vessel. And humans are complicated. Like, we take truths and we make them lies, and we don't remember properly. We don't remember the past the way that it was. And who is to say what the truth is? Because it's only based on our memory. You can be you can have an experience with somebody 10 years ago, and both of you have completely different stories based on that event.
I know, but aren't you usually right when you go back there?
No, actually, the shocking part is that sometimes I've been wrong. And that has really...
Yeah, but
that's really shocked me.
I'm deflecting.
I've noticed lately that I have been wrong about certain things. And it also depends on the time. Like, when I was 20, I might have remembered something that happened when I was 10 and thought it was one thing. But now in my past 30, maybe I'll remember that experience when I was 10 differently. Yeah. So we are... where you are... validation comes from within, but that's where you start, because all the other stuff that comes from the outside is actually just really frothy.
Yeah, totally logical. Everything you said is logical, and I don't disagree with any of it.
Good, because it was all right.
However,
when we remember this in 10 years, Claire was right. I just don't know how to change that in myself yet. I know we're very, very small, but I look to my smaller community, and I often don't give the weight to the opinions that are valid to me, that mean the most to me, and I will take the opinions of things that I don't even have respect for, and use them as a way to feel illegitimate, because the formula is off. So, as an example, right, we just did this play. Very proud of it. I would say that it's some of the best work that I've done. I think people had an experience when they went to the theater outside of just watching a play. I think that's what their response is. And in turn, that theater won't have me back again to direct. There's no reason that the work that I've put out there shouldn't grant me another opportunity, and it doesn't.
But does
and
it?
So the translation, even if it's people that I don't value their opinion, they're decision makers, and so that helps fuel this. I don't know.
But Matt,
this pain that I'm trying to.
What you're not doing is you're not taking into stock what you've done. Like you are, but you're looking at it in a
transactional. This should lead to this, for sure.
Right, but you're also, the work that you're proud of, that you've done, you are proud of, but you are. It has to be altruistic, and part of it is, but there's a lot of it that is stuck in. This is going to sound negative when I say it, but I don't really mean it that way. Like I think it's a lot of it is stuck in your ego. So
definitely.
Yes.
Definitely.
So the fact that you weren't asked back to direct there is hurting your ego.
Absolutely.
However, if you're altruistically sharing your work, who cares if those people didn't ask you back? You have other places to be. You have other places to work.
But that's not really that true.
But
That's why
I want to jump in because I think
that part's
that's where I
just
care.
not true. But you're right. It is ego because I'll see other people who can't direct out of a paper bag, are working, and I'm like, why
doing
on
like
earth
3
would
shows
you,
a year?
Why would you want that person to do the work?
But
it's all ego.
But this is But this is also the major problem with like where we live and what our society and our culture
but I
is right
selfishly
now.
hear that and go, I get upset because I go, well, this is my friend, but also selfishly, this is the only person who's going to do certain work, and there's no one else who's going to do it. So now, if he's out of the game, then I'm out of the fucking game.
I
do you understand
I
what I'm
know.
saying? It's like a domino
I
effect.
absolutely know because I feel those things too. But I also think that the judgment of one place, which
I get
that.
that.
I feel like is not as important. Like we know this place you're speaking
Right.
of, and first of all, the fact that their whole next season is work that they've chosen that probably is not.
Do you know what they've chosen already?
No.
Or just what we've discussed?
I thought everybody knew what they chose. I don't know. I just assumed
I
it
don't
was
know.
crap.
Yeah.
But I just figured that if it's not worth your time, then
No, you're right. And if it was just this one thing, and I was working in other places, I think I would be like, yeah, your loss. But I then don't get like
it's almost like it's their loss more than it is yours.
no, and my ego tells me that too. But then I still don't get the work.
Okay, but I feel like here's what I truly feel like. We miss out on stuff. We don't miss out. We don't get opportunities where we don't need them, right? I think we're given work where it's appropriate, where we can handle it. But if it's not happening right now, that doesn't mean it's never going to happen again.
Well,
I just think that the type of work that you can do is actually it's a little too hard for people to grasp because we're not we don't live in a vulnerable society. People want stupid. They want funny. They want something that will sell, and they want I mean, look at what's happening on Broadway. Shows are getting open and closed all the time,
For sure.
and they're good. They're good shows, or are they?
Look, the only thing that I would argue in that is that their funny isn't really funny.
Exactly. But that's the point. Is that it's not. But the theater goers, they don't.
I mean, I would.
I can-
London has theater goers. We don't have theater.
Well,
goers.
I hope that the play that we're doing now, being youthfully inspired, is the right way for the theater that we're working at now to go, because you have to change who your audience is. You have to tap into people who are looking for entertainment, who aren't on the verge of death. So, and I mean, and a lot of those people, those are the theater subscribers. Did I say anything out of turn?
No. What did she say?
You know,
what is this about?
What?
They
Did he say? What did she sing?
Allegra,
Yeah.
turn up the heat.
Alizé, you trying to kill me?
So the matinee, the Sunday
It's a
matinee is very
DVD
popular.
player.
Anyway, so I'm searching for validation, but I'm also searching for it in love, too. Like to have a partner validates my whether I'm lovable or not.
Your
So,
weather? Oh, sorry.
yes,
whether you're
validates
lovable.
validates my weather.
Yeah, your weather system. I get
Yes,
it.
for sure.
This is
There's an
exhausting.
internal storm, Claire. There's an internal.
Oh, you don't gotta tell me.
Storm, yeah.
Woo!
The internal storm.
I often think
well,
that
Claire, when she hears there's a storm coming, let me tell you, she's hitting the car and she's out of there.
She's got her
You want to
Wellingtons
unpack
and her.
that?
my faux fur coat. Listen,
Unplug all the wires and get out of there.
I have to say
I
that
must leave.
I keep myself so incredibly busy
no shit.
that I don't and I think there's a huge subconscious to that. Like
Yeah,
because I'm so afraid of being unproductive. I'm so afraid of being being scared. That which means that I already have the fear. I have the fear that I can't do anything. So I make myself busy with things that I know that I can do. Like you guys have you have the opportunity and the time to care so much about art and your work
True.
that
It's true.
no,
I want that on a t-shirt though.
no, your lives are based on creativity. Like I operate from the morning I wake up to like the end of my work day. Like there's not a lot of room in there for creativity. I have to be a certain way for 8 hours of the day.
But you don't think of your work as creative?
It is, but it's faster creativity. I don't have too much time to think about it.
Right. It's
also-
retail creativity.
It's also there's material to it.
Yeah, yeah.
There's visuals. There's material. When it comes to acting and art, that other kind of stuff, I have to like take it from somewhere. And I haven't really sat with myself. I didn't go to school for musical theater. All the
Good.
acting work that I've done, I've derived from experience, or I've been able to been given the opportunity to work on something. But have I really sat to think about it? No. You guys really sit with it.
Well, look at us.
You sit and you think with
We
it.
are killing it.
So maybe we need to be
Maybe a little less
No.
sand in
Thank
it.
you.
Maybe some sand in it. But
No, I think
How's it
that
going over here?
You guys, no, I actually really admire that because you are really doing the work and you're thinking about it so much and you care about it so much so that when something goes a little bit wrong, it really bothers you. Whereas for me, I'm like, whatever, I'm gonna go home.
I would love to be able to have that attitude.
I think I
wouldn't
think I
look
actually
for as much validation if,
with
if it
theater, I
wasn't-
would love to have that and go. It doesn't matter. I'll just there's going to be something great next season somewhere, and I'll find a cute show to do. I'm just I can't
guess
I
wish
can't do that.
I wish I'm a little jealous that you guys care a lot and I don't care as much. I think that's what bothers me.
but
a
you're
little
not
bit.
you not caring quote unquote as much means you'll get to work more.
No, well, I also think you probably care more than you think.
You definitely
I
do,
do.
Claire.
But no, I get what you're saying. Look, each side has its pluses and its minuses for sure, because I think it's for me it's led to being able to measure myself as successful or not successful, and that's not always the greatest thing. Anyway, there was something else that I was going to bring up before you said that, and I can't remember what it was, and now I'm a little.
Should we try and help you?
Maybe. But we answered one question today, and we're at an hour.
Yeah, we should probably stop.
I wonder if this is a one-question episode.
It has to be.
I know, right? That's crazy. Do you want to answer a short one?
Yes.
A short question?
Yes.
Is there one?
Yeah.
Well, all the
I had the list,
questions-
but then I was looking for something else. And
All
now
the
I've lost
questions are short. Oh, what are you searching for?
I-
A quick one, like, what is your deepest regret in life?
Yeah, I can answer that. Sure.
How many times have you tried to get into a box? That's a
Yeah.
quick
How
question.
many times have you tried to get into a box? Wait, are we talking an actual box?
Mhm.
Okay, phew.
I'm sorry.
So I didn't
There's so
wanna
many
tell
boxes over there. I just keep looking at that giant box of limes.
Oh, okay,
Look,
that's
look.
not-
You know,
I love that giant box of
now
limes.
that's borderline. It's hurtful. It's
I
borderline
want to
hurtful.
get into that box of
Just-
limes.
want you to know that it was much worse.
How about
much
this?
worse.
How
I
about
think
Claire? How about this? I'll give you a quarter if you want to go over there and break some boxes down.
No. It's a quarter per box.
That's what I said. I'll give you a quarter per box if you
No.
want to go down there and break
That's
it.
not what you said.
Sometimes
Listen,
I'm slow at recycling, and this is what they are making fun of me for.
I'm not
No,
making
no.
fun. I'm not in this. We're two separate people. I'm not making fun of you.
Grady,
I don't make fun of people.
I am.
I don't like being ganged up on.
I don't make fun of people. I do not like it.
What?
No.
I actually really love breaking
To
boxes
laugh
down.
with people.
I don't mind it.
If I have like a half an hour one day and I
just gonna
remember
stop
this,
over?
I'm going to just stop over and I'm going to break down all these boxes.
What if
Nice.
there's wires plugged in everywhere? You might lose it.
Well, if there's no,
Do you have
look,
a cat?
this thing could catch on fire real easy because they're all flammable boxes. I got to get rid of the Christmas tree too because I don't celebrate
You
Christmas
say,
anymore.
what is your deepest regret? Is that
it's
what you
it's
said?
a crap Christmas tree, anyways. What is your deepest regret? We can't answer that now, right?
Yeah. I mean, if you have a regret that it's that big, you think about it every day, probably.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I have a lot of micro regrets.
Well,
My micro regrets have haunted me my whole life.
I,
I'm not a man of action the way that I'd like to be.
Mm-hmm.
Do you know one? It feels like
Yeah.
a big question to put at the end of this thing.
It is. I mean, we
Fine.
could come up with
I
a lot
could-
of different
no,
funny
I-
ones.
I
Okay,
don't
well,
know.
Grady wants to answer
My greatest
it.
regret in life is probably that when I left high school and my grandfather had passed away and I had lived with my grandmother through high school and took care of her and lived with her. Once I left, I was so far away, and then she was kind of moved around a bit and then finally went in a home. And no one got her to play piano. No one did the things that I did with her to keep her going.
Yeah.
And we were a great team, and I regret that I left her. I feel like I abandoned her, and I will never, ever, ever forgive myself for that. That I could have just stayed, a company member with a great little regional theater company and done good work and been with my grandmother until I couldn't. So I don't know what the outcome is, but I can't shake that regret. No one can tell me to shake it.
Well,
'Cause
I'm going to tell
she
you.
was
Well, what
so
at
so
the
so
time,
wonderful.
At the time, and this is how I try to work through regret. Is at the time, did it feel wrong or did it
Yes.
feel right at the time?
No, it never felt right leaving her.
So
But
that
how
is
about-
something that you would take with you for
Yeah.
a long
it
time.
never
about-
felt right leaving her at 18. It felt horrible, and I
How about-
didn't know
Okay,
any
I'm
other-
sorry.
No. I just didn't know any other way. I had to leave.
How about this for a question? Do you think that she wanted you to have a small life?
No, I don't.
Are you better because of what you did?
I don't know. And
I think
I
if
don't
you,
know
I
because
think
I've
if you
not
asked her,
Mm.
and I didn't know her, but I think the idea of you sticking around was never what she would want. Like when my father was really sick and my sister would give me shit about not being around because I was in acting school in the city, I knew that the thing that I was offering my father was to continue pursuing this thing that he knew that I loved. You know, he wanted
I
my
get that.
life
I get that.
to be bigger. He wanted me to continue with life. He didn't want to be nudged and poked and prodded and made to feel like everything was falling apart because he was sick. And that balance, my sister couldn't understand. Like I made a choice. It's not that I didn't speak to him. It's not that I was always away, but like in pursuing this thing, I was giving him this idea of like he wanted the best for me, and that's what I'm doing. I'm going to pursue that, and I'm not going to act like I'm not going to be hovering over him which he didn't want.
Yeah, we have to remember that we're not the only one. We are the only. Okay, we're the only one experiencing our experiences, but there are other people surrounding these experiences. You know, like with you specifically.
I was a kid. I did not have control, even though I took care of her at the house. No one monitored us but at the end of the day,
it was a lot to put on someone whose brain isn't fully formed.
I wasn't. Yeah. Well. Yeah. Yeah.
But you had to go. And but
my problem with it is this. She didn't have a lot of years left. And what harm would it have been for me to stay just a couple of years to give her some more time to enjoy her life rather than to just be put around and put in a home? But now with health conditions in my family, I understand more why that has to happen sometimes. Mm-hmm. And it's just so I'm not okay with it.
Mm-hmm.
And I get that. I really
I
do,
am
but
okay,
but
I'm not okay with it when I think about it.
Well, because it makes you sad. Like you felt like you could do something that maybe
she
you
and I
couldn't.
had a great system, and it kept her mind fresh.
But again, you don't know if that would have extended her life or not. And I just think that someone who cares about you, especially an adult, a family member, wants you to fucking pursue your dreams. Mm-hmm. They don't, unless there's a real dysfunction, and then they're being selfishly holding you back or giving you obligations that shouldn't be for a teenager. They want you to pursue your dreams. I think if she had the ability to, she would have kicked you out towards it.
Like her opinion on this on this event is not the same as yours.
I guess too, I look back and go, I don't understand why no one else could take the time to give just simple care.
Yeah.
And because she was very cognitive, she was so smart. She loved to watch, her shows, and it wasn't that she couldn't have a conversation with you. I could say to her, she was an organist and for years in the coloratura soprano. She's a fabulous artist and just an incredible woman. And I could tell you, I love this game. It's called like hymnal roulette. And I could say Mimi, I would say hymn 554. 99.9% of the time, even if she didn't kind of know what's going on that day, she played it. These are hundreds of hymns, played them.
Yeah.
And could still sight read anything.
I think there's some anger in you too. Not just regret,
Yeah,
but
there is.
anger at everybody else for
Yeah.
stepping up.
I'm like, if I can do this at 15, 16, 17, 18, why the fuck can't you?
Yeah, absolutely. And
I don't know what I'm doing, but like the two of us are making our way. We're doing it. We're figuring it out.
Yeah.
Some
I'm
people
sorry you feel.
Yeah,
feel
some
that
people
way.
have that gift.
I left and her life crumbled. And I'm not saying I don't have a savior complex about it, but I don't understand why the fuck anybody couldn't take time.
No, there's
But now I get it. It's a hard thing because it is so difficult to care for someone whose mind is just unraveling day by day by day by day by day, and they're physically deteriorating.
It's hard.
It's hard,
but it's not impossible, and you have to give of the time. I mean, you have to put in the time. And if you don't put in the time because you're sitting out saying this is really hard, then that's something to be angry about. That's the difference. People do it all the time. Like when I think of my struggles with losing people to cancer and stuff like that, I never forget the fact that like this is not a unique experience that I had.
And mine isn't either, I don't think, really.
And people have to deal with it. It is unfortunately part of life till the government decides that they're going to want to cure cancer. Anyways.
Yeah, what is taking them so long?
I don't get on it, government. So I'm sorry you still have that regret. My regret is simple. My regret is I should have, in my mid-20s, tried stand-up. Tried to be a stand-up comedian. Comedy is so important to me in my life. And I didn't understand the idea of the first draft. And so I wrote and wrote and wrote and tried to get material that I liked. And I just never had the courage to
go work it.
And so that's the thing that I have the biggest regret over. I don't know if I would have been a stand-up comedian, but the fact that I never gave it
that feeds into the regret,
try.
Doesn't it? That you don't know, you won't know. And I'm sorry that you won't know. You make me laugh.
Thank you. I mean, I'm not your typical setup and punchline kind of guy. I never
really?
would.
Wow.
Hurtful.
This
hurtful.
just in.
So I don't know what kind of comedian I would have been, but the fact that I never tried it when I was living in the city, when I had it available to me, and all I needed was courage, I let fear win, and I didn't even try it, and that's my biggest regret. The micro regrets can go on forever. That list is
No, I have a very similar regret, and it's about songwriting and going further into like musical theory.
You always said you wish you had maybe studied that or had.
I just know that if I know right now if I took 6 months and did nothing else but that, it would be fine. Like I'd be able to do it, but that would be doing nothing else. Like I just, at the time when I was studying it, it was too difficult for me. I couldn't get it. And I shut down. It's exactly what Matt said. Like I let fear win, but it wasn't as important to me as, for some reason I just thought like I need to be an academic scholar. Like I didn't think that scholaring.
Yeah, yes.
In music
She's a scholarly maid.
was going to get me anywhere.
Yeah, and legit. Did you ever get pressure from the home base of you have to have a legitimate degree?
Yeah, it was like I really wanted to go to school for musical theater.
Right, and they didn't want that.
Yeah, they were like, here are the facts, and here's our strong opinion.
Yeah.
The facts are it's too expensive and you're not going to be able to pay off that debt. And probably a bad idea. But I actually very much agreed with that. I said, I think I could pursue, because I thought that acting and singing could actually be an extracurricular thing. And I wanted to try and get more academically smart. And I don't really think I did, but I got more like intuitively. No, not intuitively.
You're intuitively scholaristic, and I think that's where.
No, I just fell in love with poetry. That's what happened. I went to school and became a poet.
I'm sorry. That's terrible.
Oh no. There's nothing worse.
But now I'm happy where I am, but at the same time, like I really wish that I just took that.
Give us a poem right now in the air. Go.
Don't do that to her.
I'm kidding.
Now I could talk to you about diamonds and gemstones and all that, but that's I didn't think I ever was going to go down that path. But that's yes, the music 100%. Like I wish so, but I think that would. I hate to say it, but I think that would solve a lot of my problems if I just start to be able to express myself through my own sense of music. Not to like say that like we love Taylor Swift, but she gets a lot done in her. She
Absolutely.
and I are the same age, and she has put all of her art into music. And Joni Mitchell did the same thing. She put all of her emotions into her experiences into her work.
Yeah.
And I want to do that.
For sure. That's
I have so many cute ideas or funny ideas for songs, but every time I get a guitar, I'm just like, oh, it hurts my fingers.
Could you though unlock the poetry side of you and at least write lyrics in the style of poetry, and then maybe find a musician that you can.
Oh, you're making her. Are you itching? Are you breaking out in hives right now?
I
a coughing fit.
I don't know. The poetry seems hard now. It was the English poetry. It was the dead people's poetry.
I know, but like you're not unfamiliar with rhyming. You know,
Mm-mm.
you're not unfamiliar with song structure.
I feel
Well,
like
I rhymed about chili yesterday. Did I not?
Yes.
And an ABBA song. I thought that was pretty good.
Yes, it was great.
it was an ABBA song.
Matt made beautiful chili. Saying, hey, everyone, it's chili for breakfast. Claire was like, I think I'll pass. And Matt said, if you change your mind, I said, I'm the first in line.
Yes.
Honey, please feed me some more chili.
Can I just say
Oh.
it was
But
it
you
was a
sent
good rhyme.
you sent the GIF
But I was so
that I watched so many times.
I was so taken by how judgmental Claire was about having savory breakfasts that I couldn't even hear it. I mean, it was rough.
I tried to lighten the mood
No,
with
I
ABBA.
appreciate that, but it was rough. She was so judgmental about how like she treated us like we were criminals.
I only said the
for
GIF because I
liking,
know
you
y'all like The Office.
I know.
I don't even know what it is. I didn't mean that you were going to drop your chili.
I hope, listener, that you don't change your judgment of Claire.
I was afraid I
because
was
she
going to come in with a hot bowl of chili.
She doesn't like a savory breakfast. She thinks a savory breakfast
that's
is for
not
fools.
Yes, it is. I have No,
Claire,
it's not breakfast. You're right. I have chili for dinner.
Angel.
What
Angel,
if I put chili in an omelet for you? Oh my God.
Claire's favorite savory breakfast
It's a pancake.
is a chicken Oh. 1, 2,
Pancake.
3.
Chicken
Chicken salad.
Sandwich.
Sandwiches, yeah.
Why are you saying that?
Because when we first walked in, Grady said that, and you were like,
Yeah. Well,
You ate some beef bourguignon sliders earlier for breakfast, right?
Mm-mm. I had a
You dip 'em in
blueberry
some
muffin
A1?
and some
You like A1
Banana
in your
oatmeal.
pulled pork for breakfast.
Ew.
Ooh, with
Ew.
some A1 on it.
Ew.
What
And
about
some coleslaw.
St. Louis ribs?
Ew.
You know?
Ew. Ew.
And throw a little Chicago deep dish in there
What-
too. I would
ew.
eat pizza for breakfast. Yes,
No.
I would absolutely
No.
eat pizza.
You've
for
never had
breakfast.
cold pizza for breakfast?
No. Maybe when I
Oh.
was hungover.
I was about to say, Claire,
Audience.
I don't want to unpack the
Audience.
the dark days, but
no,
Audience.
but even
I think you ate some weird shit when you
even
woke
still
up.
though,
Sometimes
it was always sweets. It was always sweets, but I always had to have like a ginger ale and a lemonade, like that.
Together?
Yeah, like
See,
I
where
had
you-
to have some
I'm
like
a li-
that-
lemony
that's a-
seltzer drink in the
I'm a
morning.
I'm a
Hungover
liquid king.
drink?
You're kind of a liquid king too. You are.
yeah, I
you
was- I
always
was-
have
I was too.
liquids everywhere.
Yeah,
Mhm.
yeah.
You,
Yeah.
we all three. I think that's.
I'm like,
we
yeah.
all. I'm obsessed with liquids.
Some people like my ex-wife. She doesn't drink when she eats. Like they'll eat the whole meal and then they'll have a drink. And I'm like, no, I fucking need it right beside me.
Oh my God.
I need 2 bites and drink. 3
Yeah.
bites and drink.
I
need
can't
to
eat
do
my
both of
meal
those.
without a liquid.
Why? You need moisture to swallow your
No,
food.
no, it's
Oh,
no,
wow.
no. I don't drink
Who-
wine.
who's the robot now?
No, I.
Wait.
That's exactly what a robot would say.
No, it's the it's a palate cleanser. I have to.
True.
Yeah, I don't like drink the Coke while I'm eating the lo mein.
What is she gonna have? Like a spoonful of sorbet in between each bite? No, she's gonna have a drink.
Don't fucking attack me or look at me with a tone like that.
I
I don't
really-
know.
I
I'm
don't
not
think-
even mad at anybody.
I don't think anyone's listening anymore.
I think your tone was mad. Thank you for listening to the Last Will podcast. Please, please, please do not judge Claire for her hate of savory breakfasts. Everybody's different, you know, and that's really the
Oh,
most
my
important
car's getting
thing.
towed. I have to go.
Okay. Grady, will you take us out? That took so much effort.
Yeah, it did. It
Gross.
hurt me, not you.
Bye now.
Bye.
All right, people, you have to go back and listen to the very end of that podcast because at the very last second, there is an actual fart that really happens. Grady is doing his voice fart, and then all of a sudden he hits us with a real one, and you could just hear it, but you had to listen hard. Oh, we cracked up for a long time. Anyways, so what did we learn? In our second episode of questions, we got to 2 questions. What are we still searching for? And what's that big regret? I was surprised with the clarity in which I got to those answers, although I listened to them talk for a long time. I also love the fact that I really felt like there was a real vulnerability coming out of Grady. He was really like opening up, and I found that to be very, very powerful. So what did we learn? I think this is a lesson that just keeps coming back, and that the power of art as a whole is always a great language to use in terms of expressing yourself. And often when you are going through struggles in life or dealing with health issues with family and stuff like that, having a way to express yourself through art or diving into a project through art is always a powerful way to put words to your feelings, really. When I was dealing with grief, I often went and got a tattoo because the ache inside me, I couldn't bear it, and yet it was there and it wasn't real, and so I would get a tattoo because that pain was real. It was very grounding for me. And art is a very healthy way to also do that, so that you're not building up so much, whatever it is, and not expressing it, not releasing some of that. So I think that was a really powerful thing that we discovered through talking to Grady about it. So I don't know that I articulated it well, but if you listen to the podcast, it's much clearer back then. So
Thank you for listening to the Last Will podcast. If you like what you heard, please rate, review, and subscribe. That can be very helpful to the podcast. Share the podcast with a friend or family if you enjoy it. And if you don't, then, don't listen. Find something else for yourself. And that's all cool. We're allowed to like what we like and allowed to not like what we don't like. But don't stop other people from doing it, for Christmas sake. If you want to reach us, you can DM us at The Last Will Podcast on Instagram, or you can email me at mattyoung@thelastwillpodcast.com, I believe. I think that's what it is. Anyway, send us a note, and if there's something that you'd like us to cover, like a subject that you'd like us to talk about, let us know. Anyway, till next week, onward, forward.